Hey sports fans, this is Rideshare Commando and I'm here to talk to you about car maintenance. Alright, you're going to get a lot of generic information out there saying, hey, use this and this is what I use, but they never get into specifics, do they? Well, I'm going to get into specifics for you and I'm going to show you how to cut your costs in half and save your car for at least another 50,000 miles. Alright, you paying attention? Good. Alright, first up, get your oil change at Walmart. I hate Walmart. I hate them with a passion. The people of Walmart are the anyway, go to Walmart because they've got this $50 oil change. They want to push Castrol on you, go for Pennzoil. It's a better brand. And if you're not running synthetic, you should be running synthetic because any car that's going to be 2010 or newer needs to be running synthetic. And don't go for that synthetic blend crap. Go for full synthetic and stick to it. Once you go synthetic, you can't go back. Otherwise, you'll end up getting oil leaks at some point. But synthetic, that makes your engine run a little bit smoother. It's, I guess you might say, a little bit creamier of the oils. But it's going to prevent leaks, and it's going to make your engine run a lot more smoothly. But when you get your oil change, walk over to that little Walmart complex, that Walmart store, and spend $8, between $8 and $11, depending on where you are, and get Lucas Oil Additive, and get the one for synthetic. Okay, there is a reason for this. The oil additive is an oil stabilizer. So what it does is it makes the oil a little bit smoother, and it benefits your engine in a massive way. It'll also extend the life between oil changes. If your car is like mine, it has a percentage meter. That percentage meter does not go down as fast when you use this. That was telling to me. And I've been doing this I've used the same method for 4 different cars now, spanning about 8 years. Now every 2 years I switch a car. Now, you also have engine maintenance preventative. So you can prevent a lot of issues with your engine just by following these couple steps. See this right here? This is a Lucas fuel additive. So here's what you do. You buy one of these. It's anywhere from $3 to $5. Okay? And then you buy its bigger cousin. There's a bigger bottle. It's between $8 and $13 depending on whether it's on sale or not. Okay? But get this, put it in your tank, and then use this to measure your refills every time you fill up your tank. And use up that big bottle. You're only going to do it once, so don't worry, you're not going to be spending the extra money every time. But this right here is going to clean out your engine. It's going to make your pistons run a little bit smoother, and it's just overall going to lubricate the fuel process within your engine. So keep this bottle though, don't throw it away. This is your measuring tool, because the next thing you're going to get is what's called Marvel Mystery Oil. I buy it from Fred Meyer, I buy it from AutoZone, or you can buy it at Walmart while you're there getting your oil changed. But the stuff called Marvel Mystery Oil, it's been around for 80 years. And I can't tell you what it does. Honestly, I can tell you what the effects are, but I can't tell you what's in it. But what I do is I take one of these and I fill it up with Marvel Mystery Oil every oil change. Every single one. And then I put it in the tank and fill it up. Or I'm sorry, not oil change, every fuel fill up. Ugh, you don't want to put that in your oil. Sorry, but fill this up, put it in your fuel tank, and then fill in your gas. Do this until you get to the end of the bottle, and then you're going to have a little bit extra left. Just pour that in on that last fill up. I don't know how it works, but I can tell you that I went from getting 20.4, it's either 20.4 or 20.5 depending on the day, miles per gallon in my vehicle. And then I went up to, right now I'm at 21.9 and it's still going up. And I've done this for every vehicle I've owned. I've owned a 2006 Saturn Ion. I've owned a Mazda 3. I've owned, like right now I'm driving a Ford Fusion V6 with a Duratec engine. That's why I'm getting such horrible gas mileage, but it's a V6, so America. But this little additive, they cost you $8 and it lasts for anywhere from 5 to 8 oil changes. depending on whether you fill this all the way to the top or not. That makes such a huge, massive difference in your engine. Now I'm going to be talking about HHOs, which is hydrogen on demand. I'm going to test that out on my own vehicle, but I've got a 3D printer. I've got the means to make one myself, and I'm going to do that. But the thing to know about any HHO or any additives and so on and so forth, if you can get a tuner, if you can go onto Amazon and pay the $50 for a tuner that anything 2010 or newer is going to be OBD2, it's called OBDII. Okay, and then you've got ones there earlier, which is OBD1. But check with AutoZone. They'll check it for free, and they'll tell you for free which one it is. And look up Amazon.com, search your car model, and then OBD, 2 or OBD1. And you'll see these little chips that remap your internal computer and basically say, okay, you can set this for better fuel economy. That's going to make a difference. I'm about to do that with my vehicle. I've done that with previous vehicles. It worked wonderfully. I had a 2000 Chevrolet S10 LSC Extreme with the extended cab and reduced bed, the step bed. And I mean, that thing was a V6 Vortec engine. That thing was a beast. I loved it. And the second I got the Hypertech 3 power programmer in there and I put it for fuel economy, I boosted my miles per gallon by at least 3 miles per gallon. And when you're doing this industry, that makes so much difference. Even 1 mile per gallon can make a huge difference by the end of the year. These little additives that you're adding right now are not only going to extend your engine life, but they're going to increase your fuel mileage. And if you want to push it a little bit further, Priuses, they don't work so well because they're already pretty much maxed out. But if you are not driving a hybrid vehicle, then getting that power tuner makes a huge difference. And I'm going to give it a few months of testing before I go into the whole HHO or hydrogen on demand. So stay tuned for that. It's not going to be anytime soon that I'm going to be able to give an accurate report. It may be crap, but I know how to build it from scratch and I can build it for $20. So there's that. But give these things a shot. You will see a difference. Every time I don't use Marble Mystery Oil and then I put it in, my engine just feels smoother every single time. Doesn't matter what car I'm driving, I can't tell you why it works. It just works. And one other thing I'm going to add in. If you have an oil leak, don't pay to get it fixed unless it's just leaking like a sieve and you can't drive 2 miles without dropping a quart. Okay, don't get it fixed. Here's why. When you get your oil change, and even if you have to pay for a brand new oil change, it's still cheaper than getting a gasket fixed. Gaskets cost anywhere from $90 to $200 depending on where they are. Okay? But there is this product called AT205. AT-205. You can't buy it at an AutoZone, you can't buy it at O'Reilly's or Shucks or any of those others, or Checker Auto. You can't, because it actually works. How do I know this? While I was in transition, a couple years back, I bought myself a 1990 Nissan Altima. I remember it because that was Tink Tink Volume 1. When it started going down the road, it was Tink 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 Tink. And it leaked like a sieve. That thing was spurting oil. I was filling it up every single week, at least once per week, sometimes twice. And what I ended up doing was I was going to get rid of the car, and then I looked on YouTube and I found this one guy. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but freaking brilliant. His front 2 teeth are back in. He's a little bit older. He likes to wear sunglasses. And his videos are like, cut, 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 cut. And he walks you through how to repair your car. Well, he recommended AT205. It's from a company called ATP. And it's $12 to $14 on Amazon, and it works. It fixed my 1990 Nissan Altima. The thing stopped leaking. It was freaking crazy. I've tried everything. I tried Blue Devil, I tried Lucas, I tried every brand, and AT205 actually worked. So if you have an oil leak, get AT205. Okay? Some of the smaller mom and pop owned auto stores, they might have it. I mean, if you go down to Oregon, in Salem, Oregon, I think it's like Doug's or Scott's, or it's just some, guy's name in front of a auto store, and there's like 3 or 4 of them out there. But they carried it. And I've seen that out here over in Washington. I've seen it in Arizona too. So some places do carry it, but guaranteed you can always find it on Amazon. And it's from a company called ATP. It's a gray bottle with black trim, and the whiting is black with white around it, like embossed. But it makes all of the difference. If you have an oil leak, just put that in on your oil change. Spend $50 at Walmart for an oil change. Tell them, hey, put this sucker in there. And it will stop your leaking. But here's the catch. Yeah, right when you do that, go driving. Right after that oil change, go driving for the next hour or 2 hours. Just constantly have your car running, because that makes a big difference. If you don't run your car constantly, the oil needs to be hot, the ATP needs to be hot. And what it is it's going to take the debris from your oil, and it's going to essentially expand your gaskets and push the debris to your gaskets, sealing them again. Because gasket leaks, they're small. They're usually quite small, unless you just have an old beat-up car, which if you're driving for Uber and Lyft, you don't. Okay, so let's recap this whole video. 1. Oil change. Get Lucas. That's this brand. Look, this brand. Look for that logo. That little logo up top. Look for it. Get an oil change from Walmart. I hate them, but they're cheap. And oil changes are oil changes. Make sure they choose Pennzoil, not Castrol. Okay? I mean, you can do fine with Castrol, you're just not going to get as far between your oil changes. I've tested this. I've done several oil changes on my car. Okay? So, I mean, you can do Castrol. They're going to try to wheedle in the Castrol. You'll see Castrol on the receipt. Tell them Pennzoil. Specify Pennzoil. Remind them Pennzoil. They'll hate you, but they'll still get the job done, and they'll go Pennzoil. Full synthetic. Okay? If you're driving for Uber and Lyft, you need full synthetic because you have a car that's at least 2007 or newer. Okay? And once you do, add the Lucas product. Add the Lucas Oil Stabilizer. You'll see it out there. It looks just like this, but it's for your oil, and it'll say Oil Stabilizer. Now, you only need to have them add half. Tell them only to add half, and then get the bottle back, because you can use that for another oil change. Save yourself some money. Some places they will just keep it for the hell of it, and I think that's a jerk thing to do, but they do it. So that's your oil change in a nutshell. And Walmart includes the filter, Walmart includes all of that. So take advantage of the fact that they're greedy in a lot of ways, but when it comes to oil changes, they're not greedy. Now, go into fuel. Buy one of these, because this is going to be your measuring cup. Just use it for your first fuel fill up, and let your fuel get as low as possible. As low as possible. So get this, and then get its bigger brother for like $8 to $13. And then use this as a measuring tool for every fill up, and use up that entire bottle. Every single fill up, use this, and when it's out, then you go over and you pay anywhere from $4 to $8 for Marvel Mystery Oil. Sometimes Walmart will have a sale and you'll get it for $4. Not joking, I've done it. Otherwise, you can get it anywhere for $8. And then use this as your measuring tool up until the end of the bottle. And then when you have some excess left at the end of the bottle, then just pour it into this, add it again, and your car will get better gas mileage. I've never seen it happen with any of my cars to where I didn't get better gas mileage. And if you do this, it's going to lessen the wear on your engine. You're going to feel the difference. Not joking. You're going to feel your car get a little bit smoother. The combustion gets a little bit smoother, a little bit easier. And one thing you can invest in. Last note, I promise I'm not going to keep you. If you want to get a K&N air filter, what's unique about K&N is if you just get the basic air filter for any car, I mean, they can look up the model, they can pick it out for you. It's going to cost you about $40. Okay? But you can have the people doing an oil change at it, and every time you get an oil change, they have a solution that cleans your oil filter or your air filter. So you don't have to pay for a new air filter every 50,000 miles or so. You could just keep this in your car here until eternity. So instead of paying, 20 bucks or so, anywhere from 15 to 25 depending on what car you have, you just pay 40 bucks outright, 40 to 45, and you get a better air filter that allows better airflow, and it can be cleaned every single oil change. Anyway, this is your car maintenance video. I really hope it helps you, and I really hope you listen, because it's helped me for the better part of a decade. Ever since I discovered these things and said, you know what, F it, I'll try it. It's worked. So I hope it works for you.